Disconnection Day for the Guam Power Authority. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about some other things, but we do have the GM of GPA, John Benavente, joining us in the KUAM News Zoom room. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chris.
I'm going to make sure I call you sir because we're doing the disconnections. Oh, boy.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. John, this was kind of a tough decision for you guys, though, right?
Yes, Chris. I mean, since the pandemic came on in March of last year, we stopped disconnection, and we've been doing it that all through this time. And then, so as much as we work to try and help our customers during this difficult time, we also have to come at a point to start getting back to normal. So again, we continue to work with customers, and part of even though we're starting disconnection June 1st, which is today, we do have, several ways that we put together to help employees further. And if you recall, for several months now, we've been saying, come in and make a payment arrangement if you're delinquent. And that's about 7% of our customers, probably about 3,500 customers. So what's happening today is those that are in prepaid we have two types of customers, prepaid and postpaid. Prepaid are those that it's like the prepaid phone. You load in $20 and you use that energy until it warns you when you're going to run out, and then you add in another 20. And we have about 1,000 of those customers. And then postpaid is basically everyone else that gets bill, and then if they pay 30 or 45 days later. So for the prepaid, they actually start today. So they have to put in their, what for energy, plus there's the debt recovery plan for them. For postpaid, if you have a balance there today, then what's going to happen is that's going to be divided into 12 months. And of course, those that are regularly paying, they could continue to do so. We hope they do. But those that are delinquent or seriously delinquent, I mean, everyone will, but those most especially seriously delinquent, who have that balance divided by 12, and then they have to pay their regular bill plus that balance. Otherwise, disconnection will occur. So that's we're back to the normal process, but we're trying to also alleviate the difficulty, the challenges that everyone that has been delinquent by helping them in this way.
So do you guys anticipate doing any actual disconnections today, John?
I'm not a betting man, but well, maybe I am a little bit, but there could be somebody disconnected today if they didn't load up their prepaid account. Most likely those that are postpaid, it's going to take a little bit more time before we get that, because we're gonna divide that by 12, and then when their billing comes, that's when it starts. So in the before the pandemic, that when your bill doubles up, that's about time that you're gonna get shut off, right? Although that's not really unpublished, you could almost gather that from experience, no?
So just for clarification, we're talking about 3,500 customers, whether they're prepaid or postpaid, that are up for disconnection?
Well, they're delinquent, no? Depending, they won't be up for disconnection until, for example, the postpaid, right? They have a regular bill, plus the balance is divided by 12. And that's added to the regular bill, and that's what they must pay. Otherwise, they will face delinquent on the time frame that they're informed. No?
Okay, so about 3,500 customers that are considered delinquent.
Yes, about 3,500 are delinquent.
Any government any government of Guam agencies that are delinquent?
Basically, the government of Guam are up to date. Maybe one or two that we work with them. But basically, throughout this whole period, the government has been paying their bills. DOE, they have been behind 1 or 2 months, but then we worked that all out with them. No, so there's no one that's seriously delinquent in the government of Guam.
What about ERA, the ERA funds? How many ratepayers have taken advantage of that program and that have been paid?
I'm not sure how many total has applied, but I'm aware this morning that about 90 so far has been have been approved and has been paid. And again, those that are have applied, you can always check with us whether that was paid by the air funds or if you're trying to keep track, you can always contact us with that also because we're in close contact with the Department of Administration on all of that. So again, if that's coming in, and then we'll hold back on what's necessary. We're not, what do you call it? Especially when we're working things out, then we're not that quick on the button. No? It's those that really have not made any effort throughout all this period of time that we've been asking for an arrangement. So sometimes you need to do that to bring them in. No? So hopefully no one gets disconnected and we just move forward. And again, that was part of our plan. Is really there's no use trying to make everybody pay their bill or their delinquent in one day. That's not unrealistic. No? So we broke it up into a 12-month arrangement. And from there, customers can again work with us on what they could afford within reasonable terms. No? If they owe $5,000 and they say I can only pay $10, of course that's unreasonable. In the first place, that's a responsible thing. They shouldn't be using $5,000 worth of energy. But again, that's probably the extreme. No.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, there are all these options that GPA and GWA has made available for people to make arrangements, right? Have people actually been taking advantage of that?
Yes, there's been quite a few. In fact, I'm seeing the lobby downstairs when I walk in a lot busier than usual. We remember over the past week or so, a little longer, both power, water, even Department of Administration were going out to the villages, trying to get everyone to go there and do that. And those that could apply and qualify for DOA, do that application so that we work real hard to get customers to make that arrangement. So I see the lobby a lot busier than usual this morning, and I hope that's a good indication that we can take care of our customers. We're probably having to push the button, because if customers are not aware, really, residential customers and all of that, we can just push the button from the computer, whether it's here at home or somewhere else, and disconnect. At the same token, when they do make a payment or do make an arrangement, the reconnection is almost immediate. You don't have to wait for somebody to go out to make that reconnection. Commercial is a little more difficult because they're higher energy meters. However, for residentials and all, we can turn on and turn off within an instance their energy. So the good news is once they pay, we can immediately turn them back on.
Have you had any other discussions with the governor regarding the possibility of not having to implement this LEAC adjustment in August, the $57 a month increase? Because that's a pretty big chunk of change there, $57 for a community that's still struggling.
On the LEAC process, since last year in the pandemic, we've been working real hard to keep rates down. And in fact, we've put forward $30 million in cash from the utility, from the self-insurance fund, from reduction in capital improvements, and also just from our working capital, a line of credit, if you will, for our utility, not to keep the things operating. So it's been really, again, the oil prices came down last year, around March to May. However, since then it's been rising in a 45-degree angle all the way up to where it is today. So the difference now is we went from last year in February, we went from a 15.4 cents down to 13, then to 11, then to 8.6, all within a 6-month period. And then we held at 8.6 no, throughout this period until about earlier this year when we brought it up to 11 because of the really steep increase in fuel. Unfortunately, now that's put us in by this July, will be $30 million under recovered. And there's just not that much more cash to maintain, to be able to buy the oil tankers, because now a tanker of fuel will cost about $20 million. No, so we have to collect and we have to pay. So again, now, for example, what is that recovery over to just to get us back to where we're paying what is recovering our past advances, no, just to get us back to where we're just covering the fuel. That's about a $30 million for 6 months, no. So when you trying to alleviate that, that's a big chunk, no, just for 6 months period of time. So these are what's before us now. The governor has shown an indication that she'll look at it because we do have, we have meetings that occur between ourselves. But again, we're going through the process. We'll see what the CCU has already approved the 16.7 cents. And now it goes to the PUC, and I gather that they will decide that towards the end of July in their July July meeting to be effective August 1st. So once the numbers are all there, then the governor can take a look whether she could alleviate or mitigate. Might be a huge scenario, because just a year's worth of this is 60 million. 2 years is 120 million, right, just to get back to where we are. See, so that's
but
before
John,
you know it, all of that money is gone. But again, that's not my call.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that there's
Nope.
3,500 you said that are behind in paying their bills. The economy is not doing so great. We've got a 19% unemployment rate. I don't even know. I don't think anybody's getting raises unless you work at Adeloop. Who can afford this?
Well, that's where consumption has to come back. But no matter what, we also as a utility, have to keep operating. We have to be financially stable. We have bond obligations. We have bond covenants, no?
Yeah.
If we're not, then we're going to go from back. Really, we're very fortunate that we're financially still sound, and we were able to advance all of this cash throughout the period. But we can degrade much more from where we are. Otherwise, we will now begin to feel the impact. So again, we will work with the PUC. We will work with the administration to see how we can potentially alleviate the impact. But the first step is really everyone understanding what is zero, what is recovery, what is costing us 16 cents for fuel now. So let's just get to 16 cents. If not, we're gonna continue have to look the cash somewhere else, no? And again, that's not even counting the revenue we lost. That for us, we cut back all our costs, no? I'm not sure whether you're aware that we used to have 512 employees in Guam Power Authority. We're down to about 437 now. So you see, it has been continually trying to cut costs in the utility to be able to put ourselves in this position, no?
Oh, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this stuff, it's not, but again, I can assure you we'll continue to work with everyone. And so right now, the time frame is that the PUC's final decision, or is usually the last week of July is when they have their board meeting. So we have this month and early July to see where that may help. What could be done to, again, I think everyone wants to try and continue to help our consumers and Guam, because again, we're rolling out in the pandemic, but we're still not we're back to normal.
I did have a couple other questions. Do you have any update on that fire at Cabras from a few weeks ago?
Yes, we're expect to have Cabras back on the line in about 2 weeks. We did there was the panel box that had a fire, but when they secured the unit, there was also another one that happened on the air preheater. Fortunately for us, we have all the parts and equipment and all of that. The panel boxes, I think, should be about done already. The air preheater work continues on, and the target is June 14 to be back on the line. We've also lost one unit, the Jiggly CT, subsequent to that. And now I'm in the process to try and bring in a exchange combustion turbine to get that. So the combination of the two has put us in a precarious position. However, so far we've been holding our own, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, of course, that we get Cabras number 1 back, which again, there's no doubt in my mind it will come back, knowing what has happened and knowing how much work is being done today. So we'll be on schedule to be back on the 14th, and then that would help us with that. No?
Was the Cabras 1 fire, is that what triggered the situation in Jigo?
No.
No, okay, it was two separate incidents.
The one in Jigo is, let me put it this way. The one in Jigo, we have a combustion turbine that every day is put on the line, which is not normal. But I think there's muting, no? What happened here is what happened in 2015 and 2016. A lot of renewables started coming on the line. Renewables are very intermittent in the daytime. When the cloud cover comes over, they just drop load. Whenever they drop load, the combustion turbine has to come up. So that unit is like this every day, stress, no? So it's been running like 20,000 hours almost every day, half a day in the daytime when the renewables are running. And so it fell. And so now we're replacing it. The good news is that we have batteries now. We dedicated the new batteries that has begun operating since March 1st. And that is the one now that's taking the intermittency up. That is really a lot faster, and now less stress on moving parts and moving equipment. In addition to that, there's less outages as a result of the new batteries being on the line. Used to be anytime we lose a generator or we have a big drop in solar production, maybe 3, 4, 5, as much as 14 and one-time feeders will trip for about 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then we put them back, and again to avoid the blackout. So you're not seeing much of that anymore. In fact, I think there was only one time, and it was like 3 feeders in the past 2.5 months. No, so that's the batteries are going to help us and all that. But I had to get Jiggly repaired, and so the PUC approved a $6 million budget for that, and I'm in the process of getting that done now, so that we, the new power plan has been delayed from October 2022 to November, best case November 2023 or April 2024. Again, from the pandemic and other reasons, no. So therefore, the next few years is going to be challenging for us. And we've always said that, but now that's why we're doing everything we can to make sure every machine is available when it goes down or for whatever reason. No? So, but there is a low growth occurring on the island, and a lot of houses going up. The military is building up. We need the new power plant in no certain terms, and when that comes on the line, then we're going to be a lot. We'll have a lot of reserve to handle,
So
and not
John,
only that, it'll be a lot more reliable. No?
John, just to go back to the Cabras fire, how much in damage was estimated?
Maybe probably in terms of damage and stuff, probably had less than 500,000.
Okay.
The air preheater is like 288,000 for the parts and stuff.
Okay. And also, I wanted to follow up on the investigation that you were conducting into allegations of online gambling amongst employees.
Yes, I'm done with that investigation, and the issue has resolved that issue within ourselves. Our internal auditor went through the process, and first and foremost, none of them are involved with the gambling scheme, if you will. Two, yes, they're innocent, I would say innocent participants in the process, trying the app and doing all of that. They have not, they did not use GPA personal equipment to do that. Of course, it's all on their personal phones. Then last but not least, they did, we do have a regulation that says utilizing gambling on government facilities is subject to some action. And so they have done that. There's less than 5 people that have done this. I've taken the action. I've issued them a letter of warning, understanding the situation, and therefore, then I've also sent a letter of caution to all employees of Guam Power Authority to make sure that they are fully aware that this type of situations are not warranted, no, and action could be taken. So I've done that, and then I followed up with a letter to Senator Rizal, letting him know what we have done.
So you said less than 5 people, or 5 people issued this letter of
Less than
caution?
5. I think 3. I'm sure 3. I think 5, and I can get that to you later. But it's less than 5.
And so no administrative action or anything like that. Just a letter of warning.
Administrative action. You have depending on the degree, you have certain actions you can take, and we have personal rules and regulations that delineate the different type of actions and the severity of it. And so the various action, this one is a letter of warning and so on. So if it was really something, it was, because those regulations were basically done before you even had online gambling, right? So if there were people gambling at a facility and blah, 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 that kind of stuff, that would have warranted a different, more severe, penalty. No?
Were you ever contacted by the Secret Service, John?
Nope, not to this day. Just like I mentioned the last time. So no,
just checking.
Nothing. Yep. And so again, they've been issued a letter of warning, which goes into their file, and then the others, of course, I caution everybody because again, I think innocently, from what I could see, they got involved in a situation, not thinking it's anything that could lead to something serious, no?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, John.
Thank you very much. Again, keep safe and good luck and everything. Take care, okay?
Take care.
John Benavente, the Guam Power Authority. We're going to Inalahan right after the break, right here on the link. Good morning.
KUAM's multi-platform.
Join us each week